Well, good morning. Do we have any visitors this morning? From where? New York, Syracuse, where else? I know you're here. Anybody else? Where? Texas, whereabouts? Where? Denton, okay. Anybody else? Well, welcome to all of you today. Today we celebrate the 5th anniversary of the dedication of this church. Now, something very special happens on the dedication of a church building. And this church was not just dedicated, but this church was consecrated. And there's a difference. Not all churches are consecrated. In our church, there is something that we call sacred chrism. Chrism is used at baptism, it's used at confirmation, it's used at the ordination of deacons, priests, and bishops, and it's used one other time, and it's used in the consecration of a church. It's the only inanimate object that is anointed by a bishop. And if you look around the church, you see that there are candles on the wall. Those are only lit on the day of dedication, their anniversary, and those little green things underneath the candle mark the spot where the bishop anointed this building. And he anointed it east, south, north, and west. He also anointed the altar. And the altar becomes the very place where the presence of Christ is. And so this becomes a holy place. This becomes a place in which God abides. Now, the question for you and for me today on this 5th anniversary is, do we really believe that? The question for you and I is, does our actions, does our deportment, does our the way we speak and act, the way we bring ourselves to this place and to this moment, does that speak a sense of the holy? Does it bespeak a sense of what truly is reality in our lives? That God has come and placed his tent amongst us. That this becomes for us the place where heaven and earth meet. Now, over the past 5 years, many people have come to this space. They have come to this space in time of pain and terror, in time of frustration. They have come here in times of despair. They have come here in times of grief. They have come here in times of joy. They have baptized their babies and confirmed their teenagers. They have married their children. They have buried their parents. All in this sacred space. All in this place where God touches us. Now, we have in our society lost a sense of the sacred. There was a time, at least when I was a child, you didn't even walk by a church without blessing yourself. That was drilled into our heads because it was the presence of God. The church building represented God's love for us. There was a time when you never spoke in church, right? You came in quietly. Now, not all that's bad. God wants us to speak in church. He wants us to sing. He wants us to communicate with one another. But let us not lose a sense of the sacred. Let us not lose a sense that what the sacred is God's very presence. For 5 years now, people have come to this space to be healed and to be helped, to be loved, have come to this place to rejoice, to grow, and to learn. This is a sacred place, made holy by God's presence, and made holy by the work of his hands. So as you and I pray today on this 5th anniversary, I think it's important for each of us to first of all give thanks. Some of you may not have been part of this project. Some of you have maybe new to the community since that time. And some of you have been here for a long time. But the important thing is that we see within this edifice not just a building, but God's presence. Not just a building, but God expressing his love to all of us. This place is holy. This place is sacred. This place is where God meets man. This place is where people are healed, where love is expressed, where joy is celebrated, and where grief is explained. Come to this church often. Come to it outside normal times. Come to it in prayer, as so many have and do. Come to it, for it's here that you will meet your God. It is here that your God waits for your return. It is here that the cares of the world are made lighter because of God's love. Treat this place with respect, because within this place is our hope for salvation. God is here. This is a sacred place. It has been set apart. Let us live accordingly and truly make this day of thanksgiving. I want you to do one thing today. I want you to personally, each of you personally, some of you aren't even paying attention, personally, take a moment today and give thanks to God for what you are, for what you have. Give thanks. Say to God, thank you for setting your tent amongst us. Say to God, thank you for allowing us to access you through the sacraments and through the word. Say directly to God today, thank you for allowing us to have a sacred space so that we can grow in our holiness and in our love. Today is a day of thanksgiving. As I said last week, when Jesus healed the lepers, he healed 10 and only one came back to thank him. Thank him today. Be at peace.